Number 2, best practice of world-class video sales calls and conversations. Remember, not just about sales here, folks. This is any video conferencing that you do. Has to do with recording your calls. Now, have you ever watched yourself give a sales call or deliver a presentation online? I'm telling you, most salespeople, I would say at least 99% have never recorded one of their calls. My sales team with my organization, both with my swimming pool company and my marketing agency, we record about 100% of the calls we have with customers. Rarely do they say, no, don't record. I want to show you how to get that permission now. There will be times, though, when certain companies will have a policy that they can't record calls, which is totally fine, at which point we're not going to push back on this. But many of your potential customers would have no problem with it. In fact, they would appreciate it because they might want a record of the call as well. But the big reason for this is by recording your calls more consistently, you can start to analyze and see how your team communicates. And it's amazing the observations that we make when we start watching ourselves on camera. We see good habits, we see bad habits, and I've had so many comments come to me from sales professionals saying, Marcus, I had no idea I did that. I said that. But it didn't happen until they started watching and observing themselves. The same is true for managers. If we want to be great managers, we need to watch our team in action. And by having those recordings, just think about if you're a sales manager and you have a one-on-one with a sales team member this month, now you can both watch that recording beforehand and then have a great conversation about that individual's performance and communication, the good, the bad, the ugly, during that call. This is what world-class coaching is all about. This is how we build a better culture within the team. This is how we have professional development within the organization. We have to be willing to record. Now, how do you get the permission? Okay, so let's talk about that. The way you get the permission to record a call is when the call actually starts and you have everybody on the screen, because you want to wait till everybody's there ideally, right? You don't generally ask this beforehand when you're setting the appointment, and that's because not everybody is on the call necessarily in that moment. And so once everybody's on the call and you see everybody, you're able to say something as simple as this. So I'd like to record today's call. Now, the reason why I want to record the call is because I'm going to be asking a bunch of questions. I'm going to be taking copious notes. But it's possible that I could forget a few things like anybody else. And so as to make sure I don't forget anything and that we don't forget any of these important details, the recording will ensure that we're set up for success down the road. So is it okay with everyone that we record today's call? And generally, everybody's going to say, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Or, yeah, sure, send us a copy as well. Now, again, if somebody says no, well, then don't. Push back. Just say, fine, no problem. Because some companies do have this as a policy. With this being said, I would strongly suggest that if your sales team and other individuals that are giving online presentations consistently, if they're not recording those conversations at least once a month, and then watching those conversations, especially with a manager, they're missing a huge opportunity. Record those calls, watch the habits, the good ones and the bad ones, and then watch the improvement that comes as a result.